So today we have Shin Godzilla taking on Legendary Godzilla. Who wins? Oh, let's find out. So, with both of them being Godzilla, we got to talk about size, as it will play a major factor in this fight. So, Legendary Godzilla is massive, one of the biggest titans we've ever seen in the monster verse. He stands nearly 400 feet tall and weighs nearly 100,000 tons. But when I'm referring to Shin Godzilla, I'm referring to him in his fourth form. His first three forms wouldn't stand a chance in this fight, and his fifth form, well, uh, it's terrifying and disgusting, and it needs to be pancaked by a planet. Okay, look it up if you've never seen it. It's disgusting. So, anyways, his fourth form is very big as well, nearly equal, basically. It stood exactly 400 feet tall and weighed 92,000 tons. So, yeah, in terms of size, they're basically equal. So, let's talk about strength. Well, even in his smaller second and third stages, Shin Godzilla easily destroyed a bridge, demolished houses, knocked over a large building, sent a train flying, this literally hurled it, and just tear through buildings. But in his fourth form, he was destroying buildings just by walking near them and casually destroying skyscrapers. But legendary Godzilla was able to fight against and kill Muto Prime, a powerful Muto who had killed another Godzilla. He physically dominated and overpowered the female Muto, one shot at the male Muto with a tail whip, and easily destroyed skyscrapers. He fought against King Ghidorah, bit off one of his heads, and tackled him through a skyscraper. He fought against and held back Mechagodzilla while tired and injured, and he matched Kong's strength and eventually bested him, destroying buildings in the process in each of those fights. I'd say Legendary Godzilla has the edge here. Durability. Legendary Godzilla withstood hits from the Mutos, a skyscraper falling on top of him, hits from Kong with his axe even while juiced up, hits from Ghidorah and his gravity beams, and a savage beating from Mechagodzilla, like I said earlier, while already tired and injured. He survived being dropped thousands of feet in the air. He survived the Castle Bravo nuke. He survived the Oxygen Destroyer, which was a 15 megaton bomb that destroyed every oxygen molecule within a 2 mile radius. He also survived the Permian impact, which is what the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. It just literally hit him in the face, and it was fine. He was good. He walked away from it. Just continued his stroll in the park. But Shin Godzilla was unfazed by Type 10 tank fire and dozens of missiles. He was fine after buildings falling on top of him, trains exploding underneath of him only annoyed him, and the bunker buster bombs are the only weapon capable of breaking through his skin and doing damage. However, he also has an accelerated regenerative healing factor, and he instantly healed from that attack. But he does also have a weak spot on his back as well, which might have been why the bunker busters were able to hurt him. Uh, I'd say Legendary Godzilla is tougher again, but Shin's regeneration factor evens it out. And while speed won't play a major factor here, Legendary Godzilla is faster and more mobile as well. So, Legendary Godzilla is physically better. Despite them being more or less equal in size, he's just done more. He showed more. Uh, but now let's talk about their versatility. Yes, they're big lizards essentially, but they also have atomic powers, nuclear powers, whatever you want to call it. Specifically, their atomic breath. Legendary Godzilla's atomic breath has just gotten more and more powerful with every showing, and incinerated the insides of the female Muto, pushed back and hurt King Ghidorah, hurt Kong, and even blasted it to the Earth's core. Like it was like a drill, and just all the way to the Earth's core. Now, I don't think they realized what actual damage that would do to the planet and how that would affect us. But anyways, he did that all the way down to the hollow earth. But in the other corner, Shin Godzilla's atomic breath is something else. It just the exhaust of his atomic breath was enough to demolish an entire city block. The actual breath attack itself was able to slice a city in half. And what I mean by that is that he sliced all the big skyscraper and big buildings of the city just in one go, like a sword. Shink. Yeah. He can also focus this attack through his dorsal scales on his back and project several weaker beams from his back. I'm not kidding. You'll see it right here. Hang on. Bam. Look at that. Oh my God. They're weaker, but they're just everywhere, These easily destroyed the fighter jets and whatnot. Oh, you think he's done? We're thinking we're done here? You think he's done being weird? No, because he can also focus his beam through the tip of his tail for a weaker attack as well. And it's done the same thing. So, yeah, now we're done. But Shin Godzilla, if he overuses his atomic power, basically if he overuses it, it will lead to him running out of power, requiring him to go hibernating for a time period to recharge. So I would say Legendary Godzilla's is more powerful, Shin's is more versatile, but it has a limit. So yeah, take that into consideration. And then one more thing about both of them finishing up here. Legendary Godzilla has longer, more usable arms and hands and whatnot, but Shin Godzilla has a much longer tail. The tail is actually longer than his height. So, yeah, who wins? Well, firstly, I think it's safe to say both can take each other's atomic breath attack, right? However, Shin Godzilla will be regenerating from every attack, while Legendary Godzilla will just be fighting through it, taking the pain and just dealing with it. Legendary Godzilla is better in close quarters due to his better physicality and experience. But that's when Shin's atomic versatility can really come into play with his dorsal scales and his tail. Legendary Godzilla definitely wouldn't expect it and would just have to take it, like I said. But taking damage is kind of what he does, right? He's just, whether it was the gravity beams, Kong's axe, juiced up or not juiced up, the Muto's attacks. This is what he does. He takes attacks and he just gets back up and keeps fighting like no problem. And with that problem, Shin Godzilla is going to run into a problem as he will have no more power to use and will need to retreat. And since Godzilla is the king of the monsters, he's not just going to let him leave until Shin is dead or until he has definitively defeated him, like he did Kong in Kong versus Godzilla. He had to put his foot on him and roar violently, saying that he was the king. That's what he wanted to do if he didn't kill him, There's also the fact that Shin Godzilla only fought the Japanese military. That's it. Not a single other kaiju or monster at all. Legendary Godzilla, on the other hand, has fought and bested Kong, the Mutos, Muto Prime, King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla, and has been displaying his dominance as the king for hundreds of millions of years. Yeah, I'm siding with Legendary Godzilla, eventually winning. Shin will put up a good fight. Legendary will come out on top. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.